I'm Alexandra Raymond, and I'm talking to you today about my MyCred ePortfolio and how it meets the institutional outcomes and course outcomes at Bryan and Stratton. It also has some information on my MyCred portfolio about my educational background, some of my goals, and my resume, and also different ways to contact me for future employment as an employer. To start off, you click on the My Courses, and it shows all of the courses that I've recently taken at Bryan and Stratton, and also the portfolio projects that were part of those courses. I'd like to start off with the Leading Hospitality Management. This was one of my most recent projects as I'm just finishing up a semester. This was all about building a total quality management program for a made-up company. We got to make up our own company and kind of start it from the beginning. A total quality management program is all of the information that goes into making a company great, based off of like teamwork and leadership and continuous improvement. All of that goes to build in your total quality management. This TQM program is basically the way that we made our company helpful to our employees and how to provide great service for our guests. This project really helped me show like why TQMs are important and what it takes to build them. And it also, since I was making it from a made-up company, I got to really enjoy the project and really put my own personal opinions and my personal feelings on it to really make it the way I wanted it to be. The next one I want to talk about is my Career Development 3 class. This project is another one of my most recent projects as I'm finishing up this semester. I did have to omit one of the voiceovers for this project simply because it was too large to upload to my MyCred portfolio, so I had to try and pick one to get rid of. Hopefully I picked one that wasn't missing too much information. This project was all about explaining the management skills and what it takes to become a hotel manager. We were tasked with explaining how we would be the manager, how do we got a position, a general management position for a hotel that does events. We also had to put some information on there about how to market the space and how to market our client events. I also incorporated information about how to interact with the clients and planning the events and all of that information that goes in there. This project was actually pretty fun as well to make. I used the same made-up company that I used for my previous project for the Leading Hospitality Service Management program. I just sort of pushed them together so that way I could just sort of make up this entirely made-up company and start it from the beginning with the project and the other project, so that way I can just kind of make my own company. The next project I want to go over is the Technology and Hospitality Management Industry. This project was all about learning how important technology is to the hospitality industry. We were tasked with choosing a new point of sale system for our company. We had to research multiple point of sale systems and then discuss with our classmates to pick a point of sale system that was truly the best for our company. This really helped me see the different things that people wanted in a point of sale system. Me personally, I was always looking just for something that's quick and easy access for anybody to use and easy for anybody to learn. Some people had ones that were a little bit more detailed and ones that had more expensive versus less expensive. So eventually we all came up with an agreement, and then we wrote a project based off of a point of sale system that we thought was the best. And then my next project is the Ethical Hospitality Management. This was actually one of my favorite projects to complete. We got to create our own ethics program for a made-up company again. It was kind of like a training program, and it had listed what all the different principles of ethics are and some scenarios that tested ethics to try and get you to understand what it is really that goes into one of these projects. I actually really enjoyed this project. Like I said, it was one of my favorites. I spent a lot of time on this project and I'm really proud of this one. I really feel like this one really shows that I understand what goes into training and orientation, all of that information that you need to successfully run a company. So far, I feel like all of these projects are all going towards my course outcomes and my institutional outcomes. I mean, every single one of these has really taught me different stuff about the hospitality industry and how important it is. The next project that I'm going to be talking about is the computing skills project. This was a really easy project for me to complete because we were tasked with buying a new laptop, or excuse me, a new computer for our online school. I chose to do a laptop simply because I had just recently purchased a new laptop to complete my online classes. So we had to go on and research different computers and find one that was within our budget and met all of the online requirements, both the hardware and software needed. Like I said, this one was super easy for me because I had just done it. So I had just finished researching all these different projects. So I just went back and like re-researched everything, updated all the information, and then submitted that information to complete this project. And I feel like this project really shows how much I understand technology and what it takes to make sure that it is correct. The hardware, software, and everything that, that I know how to understand. The computer, when I look at the figures, I know what they mean. The next project that I have listed there is for convention and event management. This project is pretty similar to one of the most recent ones I did, but instead of hotel events, this is managing convention and event centers, which are much larger and they have a much more larger guest count typically in them, whereas a hotel event might have 200 or 300 and a convention center might have 2,000 or 3,000. Basically, we got to focus on who and what goes into planning these events, how long it takes to plan them, when you should have certain steps done at certain times, what we do to market the event centers, and then also what we do to market the events and conventions, how we go about different service functions like audio visual requirements that might be needed, whether or not the event has food or beverage choices, and also any accommodations that may be needed for a large convention like this. Some of them last 2 or 3 days, so you do need some accommodations for that. Some of them are also quick and easy, so it all just really depends. So you have to know all that information and make sure that you have that all. Without knowing all that information, you can't measure success. You can't have a successful event. So part of measuring success is knowing all that information and making sure we have everything. So that was all part of that project, and I felt like that one really taught me a lot about managing events and how to really understand them. And I mean, some are small and some are large, but you need to know what goes into each event to really make it successful and make it satisfy whatever customers' needs are. And finally, the last project that I have listed is my project for business principles. This project was actually probably one of my most difficult projects simply because of the company that I chose. We got to pick a company and research the company, and I thought that Microsoft would be an easy company because I knew a lot about it, Microsoft already, and I was already really interested in that company. I have a lot of Microsoft products, so I thought that'd be a great company for me to learn more about. However, after doing some research, I found that they are very specific about the information they release to the public, and that it was pretty difficult for me to find a lot of really good information about them. I did eventually find some information about their business structure, management structure, how their human resources management is, what their goals are, their mission statement, also how they do production and some of their marketing techniques. All of this went to building a really great project overall. It just took me a lot of time to really find this information, and it was worth it in the end. But it was definitely one of my most difficult projects. Overall, I believe that all 7 of these projects have really shown what I can do with this degree, and that it meets all the institutional outcomes and course outcomes that were listed for Bryan and Stratton, and also meets the outcomes that I expected from finishing these courses. I feel like all of these have given me a better perspective on what it is I'm actually doing in this industry and how important it can be for me to know that these projects are what they are and explain them and be able to talk to a possible hiring manager about them to show my skills and let them review it so that they can truly understand my skills. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.